Now, this just came out, and it's pretty amazing. SpaceX has announced it will build a second spaceport for future launches of its Starship Mega-Rocket at a former Exxon property in Louisiana, ending what the company says was a 7-year search for a suitable location. The new launch site will sit along the golf course in Vermilion Parish, west of New Orleans, and roughly 10 hours from the company's existing Starbase complex in South Texas. SpaceX is investing $100 billion with construction starting in 2027, according to SpaceX. The first Starship launch will take place in 2029. Now, the Louisiana Economic Development, or LED, the state agency that oversees business development, offers a slightly more conservative timeline. It says construction will start by the end of 2027, with initial operations expected to come online in 2030. Before any of that happens, SpaceX is still trying to prove that it can fly Starship into low Earth orbit and making the rocket reusable, like its existing Falcon 9 and Falcon Heavy rockets. So far, SpaceX has performed 13 test flights of Starship since 2023, and while the company has ticked off a lot of development boxes, it still has a lot of work to do. However, an upcoming 14th test flight could see SpaceX and Starship's upper stage to orbit for the first time. But the company has yet to return both the booster and the upper stage to the launch pad on a single flight, a basic necessity if Starship is to become truly reusable. And even then, SpaceX must show that it can bring the vehicle back and refurbish it quickly enough to reach its own aggressive goal of sending up multiple Starships per week. But that isn't stopping SpaceX from betting almost everything on Starship, and therefore, the past week, CEO Elon Musk said that he will retire the Falcon rockets once Starship is flying multiple times per week. His comments confirmed earlier reportings from Bloomberg News that the company was already telling prospective customers about the impending end of the Falcon program. This is important because SpaceX has spent more than $8 billion developing Starship, according to filings submitted to the Securities and Exchange Commission. The rocket, which is the largest and most powerful ever built, is crucial to maintaining and growing the only profitable part of SpaceX's business, its Starlink satellite internet service. SpaceX is also planning to build an entire network of satellites dedicated to AI processing, which it needs Starship to launch. And listen to this, the new Starbase site will create 3,000 direct new jobs over 10 years, with an average annual salary of $92,600, according to the Louisiana Economic Development Office. More than 30,000 construction jobs are expected at the peak of the build-out, but it's not immediately clear if SpaceX intends to create a company town around the new Starbase site, like the one it has architected in Texas. The Texas town that governs itself, once called Boca Chica and was renamed Starbase, has its own zip code and volunteer fire station, and it's building its own police force and community library. It is run by a local government filled with SpaceX employees or family members of SpaceX employees. But then again, SpaceX did say in its announcement that it wants to make the new site a self-sustaining spaceport with propellant production, power generation, deep water shipping capabilities, vehicle processing facilities, and an airport. So maybe yes, what do you think? This might be the Starbase too. So why does this matter? Elon Musk is continuing his push into the southern U.S. with SpaceX, his aerospace and tech conglomerate, planning a $100 million launch facility in Louisiana. In a joint statement, the Louisiana Economic Development Office said that SpaceX will establish its Starbase Louisiana in Vermilion Parish to support thousands of launches annually. And no one talks what Elon Musk is doing and what he always does, making aggressive capex moves and pushing up timelines. So now SpaceX announced on Tuesday Starbase Louisiana, a high-cadence launch site for its Starship rocket to haul up cargo like the company's Starlink satellites and orbital data centers. However, SpaceX also said Starbase will eventually be able to support thousands of Starship launches per year, targeting Earth orbit and the Moon and Mars. Louisiana Governor Jeff Landry said SpaceX will invest $100 billion to build the facility, with construction starting in 2027 and the first Starship launch target for 2029. And check this out. Musk said that the Starbase will ultimately have over a dozen launch towers, enabling more than 30 Starship flights per day. Also, in addition, Elon Musk took to X to update the timeline for launching the rocket company's first AI-powered satellites, which would eventually depart from Starbase Louisiana. This is what Elon said in a post on X on Monday. SpaceX, in partnership with Nvidia, has designed a space-optimized Vera Rubin NVL-72 system for launch to orbit in Q4 next year, with its significant scale in 2028. Of course, Musk's post comes on the heels of the latest announcement that SpaceX and Nvidia would be deploying Nvidia Vera processors to accelerate the orchestration, code execution, and data processing that powers its next generation of agentic AI. I'm pretty sure you are aware that the companies have worked together in the past and earlier this year, announcing that Nvidia chips would power SpaceX's upcoming AI satellites, aka orbital data centers. What do you think about while SpaceX in the past had said it would target 2028 for the launch of these satellites? But Musk's new timeline pulls it forward to Q4 2027, with volume launches in 2028. Here's the truth about it. Wall Street is positioned for SpaceX to hit these timelines much later and is quite bullish on the prospects. From 2029 on, we expect SpaceX to pursue orbital compute towards 75 gigawatts by the end of 2031 at a significant cheaper cost than could be done on Earth. That's what JP Morgan's analyst Doug Anmuth wrote in our note to clients on Tuesday. We believe significant upside potential remains as the company quite literally builds out the next frontier. But we know that Musk has been known to issue aggressive timelines that sequentially aren't hit. Look at the past timelines of this Tesla Cybertruck, the Tesla Semi, and still unreleased next-gen Tesla Roadster. Another key challenge for ramping up orbital data centers deployment is how SpaceX will get the payload into space. Its powerful Starship rockets is slated to carry the satellites into space, but it is still in testing. Though the rocket had a successful test launch and release of some Starlink satellites, it still hasn't reached the high altitude orbit necessary for some satellite launches. And only the booster portion of the rocket has landed safely at the launch pad though so far. Nevertheless, an updated timeline for orbital data centers is good news for SpaceX investors. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video, and hopefully I will see you in the next one. Thank you so much, and goodbye.